everyone, welcome to your Moon in Aries reading. This is kind of a really interesting reading because not only are we seeing the zodiac starting over with the sign of Aries, but actually the moon will be in 3 different phases during these 3 days. So this Moon in Aries reading is going to be lasting from January 8th all the way till January 10th. But on January 8th, we will see the moon in its waxing crescent phase, after which on January 9th, we will see the moon in the first quarter, in its first quarter. Now it's called the first quarter, but just so you know, when you look up at the sky, it'll look like the half moon. But technically, it's the first quarter moon. And then it will close out on January 10th in its waxing gibbous phase. So, wow. I'm excited. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to use Chris Ann's Light Seer's Tarot. It's calling to me for this reading. I haven't used it in quite some time. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me or a live energy healing session with me via Zoom, please do go ahead and check my Etsy link. And if you enjoy these videos, please go ahead and press the like button or the heart button if you're on Instagram. All right, let's jump in. What's going on? Feeling some tricky energies in the air already. Thank you. And we're continuing from the moon in Pisces. And that's interesting because I just finished shooting the moon in Pisces reading, and the guides did say that was part 1. So let's look at part 2 and see what's up. What's up with that? And why I say tricky energies, it's because the Piscean energy, Neptunian energy, is like water. It's liquidy. It's unclear. It's like a mist. It could be like a fog, right? There are no boundaries in a sense. So there, as you can imagine, there's some really great uses for that kind of energy, such as intuitive work and whatnot. But it can also be an energy that's hard to pin down. And what's a little bit alarming, and I say that having quite a bit of Neptunian tendencies myself, is that sometimes it makes things unclear to the person who's doing the perceiving. And so that's why the little bit of the warning that came through that in the moon and Pisces energy was to try and be as clear-minded as possible, right? So here we have the high priestess. Look at her, all that energy around her. Try to be as grounded and clear-minded as possible. But under this Aries moon, what I'm getting is the energy of a tricky energy. The guides are saying friends. So some of you here may may encounter some energy with friends who are showing up in a trickster energy. Now, let's give a little grace and compassion, because let's say that the energy of this trickster energy is in the air, this unclear energy, this pay to play, maybe a little bit of a conning energy, depending on how it's channeled. Let's say, just like your friends are going through this energy, they're also immersed in this energy. But if their resolve is not strong, then they can kind of fall victim or fall prey or easily attune with that energy. Because remember, we have energies passing through us all the time. It's kind of like walking down Vegas, the strip. Walking down Vegas, you could have like a whole experience. But what kind of experience will you have? What are you going to see jumping out of you? Jumping out of you. Yeah, exactly. Tell it, guys. And they're like, who are you talking to? It's not important, but what do you have jumping out of you, right? But I was going to say jumping out at you. But remember, we are carrying these different energies within us. And some of us, they're saying, are carrying entities along for the ride. And so that's why, I'm getting this dog catcher energy. Love it. So that's why, like right now, under this Aries moon, it's a great time to catch these energies. What's coming up for you? What are you feeling drawn to and compelled to, right? Then look at that activity. Is this me? Is this something I want? I mean, why am I doing this? It's possible because you have some unhealed aspects within yourself, that are being activated under this energy. It could also be that you're carrying around these entities, like I was saying, for example, that could be activated when you come into contact with these, with this energy field that's around. Also, what I was trying to say with the friends is have mercy and compassion, because if they're carrying these unhealed wounds within themselves, or they're carrying these entities within themselves or whatnot, they may unknowingly align with that energy, right? Because again, we're swimming in energies, but what are you being susceptible to because of the harmonics that you have going on inside? And the same with them. So let's just give each other a little bit of a pass during this moon, but the guides are like not too much of a pass, because we still have some people with a lower threshold. Like, okay, let's say that, thank you guys, this is a great idea. So let's say that this is a scale, and let's say that the energies around are very they're very potent for people who may carry an unhealed wound of, let's say, theft. I always use theft. So there's an energy pattern within them that steals. Maybe through conditioning or past life aspects that are still within them. They were thieves in another lifetime, or just whatever. Or it could be that they are heavily influenced by the collective around them, the people, places, things around them. So that's in their field. Or they have entities who have that tendency to want to steal, right? What that does is it makes you susceptible to stealing when the energies are right. That's why it's important to look at what energies are at play, astrology, at any given time, right? So let's say you have this scale, and we've got two elements: the energies that are potent for theft. Anyone who falls within this level to this level along the scale will fall victim to aligning with the energy of theft that's hanging in the air. So if you're this level or below within you, or frequency or below, listen, you're most likely going to steal something, whether it's a keychain, a man, somebody's job, somebody whatever, or there's the high likelihood. It's like a weather report. The likelihood is high that you will fall victim to this, so be careful on these days. That's the point. But let's say if your energy, your frequency is above the threshold, you're good. You probably, and if you're really high, you probably won't even register. Like, steal what? Like, what are you talking about? Sharon did, I don't know, and I'm just making the name. Sharon stole like the money from the what? From the register? No way. She's not even like that. What is going on? I even, yeah, because Sharon, her threshold is right here, somewhere within this range. And the conditions are right now. So these people have to be a little mindful. And so my point is that some of your friends, or you, be careful, may have a threshold that is going to be susceptible to this tricky energy that's in the air right now. So that's why I'm saying to have some, so have some grace and compassion. But the guides were jumping in and like saying, no, if somebody was on the borderline, and well, hey, it was just not their day today because the energies were just enough to kind of pull them in. They did a little lying or stealing, or they did a little whatever the energies would manifest for them. It's different if your friend is here as opposed to if your friend is here. If your friend is here, what are we doing with that person? Like, I'm just, that's what they're saying. So you still have to monitor. Okay, did somebody steal a loaf of bread, or did they steal someone's car? And that is all the difference, okay? And that's what the guides are trying to say there. So that's something. They're also saying watch for the sweet talking ways, okay, is what they're saying. So watch for somebody whose hand gets caught in the cookie jar. What are they doing about it? Their hands are in the cookie jar. Are they lying themselves out of it? Are they telling the truth about it? So let's summarize in a sense. Spirit is saying that during this time, this beautiful moon in Aries, the energies are still a little tricky, still a little unclear. We were just in the moon in Pisces. Things are in the air. There are illusions around. People thinking unclearly, all sorts of stuff. Boundaries are mixed or undefined. And so your job is to hold your center, right? So hold your center and observe. So look at how you're just observing. And, look to see who's lying to you. And then, like I said, have a little compassion, because God bless. I had 5 placements in Libra. Somebody needs to slap me and be like, no, you need to throw this person out. Because I'm like, but maybe if they... No, right? You heard the guides are like, no. But, but still... But look, who's lying to you? Who's caught red-handed? How do they deal with it? Are they owning up? Is there accountability? Did they even know that they got caught? Do they even know you're watching them? How are they acting when they don't think they're being watched? These are things that come into character. That these are things about your character, that about someone's character, that you need to pay attention to. But at the same time, it's also about yourself. Imagine, this is where integrity comes in. Integrity, in my opinion, is doing is all about looking at what a person does when they don't think they're being watched. What is their defining, their limit of definition? What is their threshold? A lot of people are like, well, I didn't think they'd ever find out. Listen, then you're just a straight liar. But I would think that somebody whose integrity is intact is not even, it's higher. Okay, they're at least at the place where it's like, oh, well, I wouldn't want to hurt them, and so I wouldn't do it. But if you're an A+ in integrity, then you're more like, well, that's not the kind of person I want to be. Whether or not I'm going to get caught, or whether or not blah blah blah, I wouldn't be comfortable being that person. That's standard setting. That's being of a certain standard. And that's what spirit watches. And when I say spirit, I mean your higher self, the lords of karma, whatever the governing bodies are. And there are some governing bodies. I will let you know that right now. Whatever they are, that's what they're looking at. So I always believe in pay to play. No, not pay to play. What is the saying? Practice as you play. If you know that you're going to want to be a certain way, then practice that. Don't be like, well, I'm going to be cleaned up outside, but I'm going to be messy at home. No. Well, then you're just messy and you're just cleaning up to go outside. But yeah. All right. So we have the Page of Wands, which I like. It's kind of, in this reading, it's giving an energy of a forgiving energy, in the sense that we're all mini magicians. We're trying things out. The fact that you're listening to this video means that now you're on notice that there is a standard that you're being asked to produce at, to be at, to work towards. But if you fall short, it's okay, because you're aware that there's a standard, and then you're aware of what you did or what you've done, and then you're aware and you have choice in how to move forward with that growing knowledge. The hardest thing, I think, is when you have no awareness. But when you have no awareness, it's also, in my opinion, a little bit of a defense. It's not to say that ignorance is a justification. We know that under the law, ignorance is never a justification. But I would like to think that there is some clemency, is the word the guides are saying, for ignorance, for those who are ignorant. However, we also have to understand that how we define ignorance is not at the conscious level, okay? Because a lot of times I'll be working with a client, God bless, and I'll say, hey, this is what I'm picking up in your field, and blah blah blah, and they're not able to connect with that energy at a conscious level, right? Because they're like, no, that doesn't sound like me. That sounds more like my dad or my brother or just whatever. These divine mirrors for the self, right? That's not me though. But then when you point out elements, yeah, but I'm seeing this, that, and then when they look in and they look in hindsight and they really put their awareness and they know where to look, all of a sudden it's like, okay, yeah. And that look, you see that look? All right. Yeah, it's like, okay, I guess I did know. Yeah, you're right, because I was getting this sign over and over and over again. So the question is, where is that disconnect happening? If you got the message, and that's what spirit looks like. They're like, hey, we let them know. We let that spirit know. They made a choice at a certain level. The level of awareness may not be at the conscious level, because remember, by the time the conscious mind is aware, it's already made some decisions along the subconscious and psychological level to be like, okay, right? And it's amazing how that happens, because once you're like here and you're like, okay, I'm going to decide this, or this is what I'm doing, you may really believe like, but I didn't know, I didn't have another choice, I had no idea. But yes, you did. You were aware at some point, but your fear of being alone, your habit of your knee-jerk habit of defensiveness, your long-term really unconscious habit of ingratitude, all of that, and then your little denial stopped it. And then you're just like, yeah, and you're talking and you're this and that, and the person who's looking at you doesn't even need you don't even need a spiritual reader, sometimes an intuitive reader. Your own friend will be like, you're doing too much, right? You're aware of what you're doing, right? But here you are 3-4 levels deep and you're like, no, I have no idea. But we're seeing all this here, and spirit sees it too. Because that's why when you go into past life regression, a lot of times you'll have that recall, even from, like, say an accident, God bless, that you had in this lifetime. You'll be able to recall your angels saying to you, like, oh, that was accident number 1 of the 4 that you said you had planned for this lifetime. Of course your conscious mind forgot, but your spirit knows, it's been informed. And so long story short, when we're talking about these energies of ignorance and things like that, let's keep it 100. Do not think that the standard for ignorance is at a conscious level. And that's why the guides are coming back around and they're saying, yeah, everyone needs to remember that life requires you to be in the driver's seat at all times, as often as you can. It's painful, but as often as you can. And being in the driver's seat means doing your inner work. Whoa! I just got mad at the ice cream guy because he put chocolate sprinkles and I asked for a rainbow. Why am I so weird about this? It's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, because there's something going on inside and you're in victim consciousness. You feel like you've been attacked, right? And so these are things you should be working towards becoming aware of and working at. Otherwise, you're just being taken for a ride, quite literally. By whom? By yourself. It's not easy work, God bless, but these are the things that we need to give to ourselves. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, okay. Bing! Yeah. Strength, right? It takes strength to look inward. But when we look inward and we actually do the inner work, we start to see, oh my God, I'm the sheep and the wolf? Wait, I'm the wolf and the sheep's clothing. Wait, what's going on? Yeah, you're everything. And that is the awareness. Oh, there are 2 cards here. Look at the ace. Preach it. Ace of Pentacles. That's the awareness that you're here to achieve. Notice the A word, achieve. Not receive. Earn, achieve, work towards, effort towards. Right? Accomplish. These are words that imply effort and achievement. And here it is, the 10 of Swords. Closing down a painful cycle, painful karmic cycle, letting it all go. This is what you achieve when you are, deliberate, when you are intentional, when you're paying attention. And I love this. Look at Spirit. This is the Temperance card. I like to call the Temperance card the good doctor, because the good doctor comes in and when they work in your field, okay, and that's what they're doing. But remember, you have to work too. You have to do your work too. But look who's overlooking you, overlooking the process. God bless. You see? Bing. And look at all that light. They're there to watch you as you handle your shadows. When you handle your shadow, you allow in the light. But they're saying what they're here to do is sometimes help mediate, because in between the shadow and the light, the shadow of the unreal and the light of illumination and all that is real, love, in between there is misperception. Without misperception, there will be no shadow. And so Spirit is there to help you navigate. That's what they're here to help you do. They're also the birds, God bless, watching over you and flying ahead, hoping that you will take note of them and take note of the direction that they're in. But if you're constantly looking down, if you're constantly fussing with your appearance and all sorts of stuff, how could you see nature and see what's naturally happening, right? One card has flipped over, and what is it? The Star card. Yes. So the Star card here reminds us that we have to call in whatever it is that we would like to achieve. The thing is, people are like, but I wasn't calling in poverty. I wasn't calling in this eviction, this person cheating on me losing my job. Yes, you weren't at a conscious level, because who would? Yes, please, take my job. Just go for it. Like, nobody does that, right? And you see people who do that, we are very conscious of, like, dude, that person's self-sabotaging hard, to the point that they lost their job, but it was obvious that they must have really wanted to lose it. Oh yeah, it's the person who wants to get caught, because it's so sloppy in the self-sabotage, right? That's not often the case. That's an extreme case where we get to see it, but usually all of this is working in the different levels of awareness for you. And the only way to become aware of that is to set the intention to turn your attention inward. All right, Spirit, I'm here. Wait, let me get my hot beverage without product placement. We all know the product is right. Let me get my hot beverage. I'm ready. Show me my ways, right? And when you do that, Spirit is here to work with you. They're here to help you navigate the mists, navigate the fog, navigate the deception. Whose deception is greater than our self-deception? Now, you guys might be like, have you met my ex-husband or my ex-wife? And we're like, no, we haven't. I'm sure they were liars. But listen, a part of you knew that when you married them. Just saying. The question is, what part? The more you do your inner work, the more you can easily identify that aspect of you. And you can become so good that you know when it's popping out. Oh, you know when it's popping out. And you say, stop. I see what I want to do. I'm feeling the desire to do whatever it is, but I understand that this is that part of me that is reckless. This is that part of me that hates myself. This is that part of me that is crying out for my dad, whatever, because that's the beauty of inner work. And that's what allows you to walk down that Vegas strip, or walk down that, I don't know, whatever other street is loaded with temptations for you. It's what allows you to walk through the cave of wonders without touching anything. That's it. It's awareness. And that is a constant theme I'm noticing in these videos I've been doing for the month of January already. Awareness, 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 awareness. The first step towards anything is awareness. I have a problem, you say? Yeah. All problems can be fixed. Maybe not completely in one lifetime, but I'll tell you what, next lifetime you're going to be so happy that you got started. What are you working on in this lifetime? I've had clients who have been working on a certain theme for lifetimes, and it's just imagine the singing, the happiness, the joy, the levity, the everything when they're guides, when we sit together in the reading table. And the guides are like, you're beating it this lifetime and you have kicked this. That is a level of happiness that you just can't beat, because it's like, oh my God, really? Yeah, but the last 7 lifetimes you were just what do they call it? Drop in the bucketing. Drop in the bucketing. Every lifetime was a drop in a bucket, a drop in a bucket. But eventually the bucket overflows and you open up. And that's why you see these amazing windfalls. Right? It's because of work that's been put in. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this moon reading right now for the moon in Aries, but please do be aware that the energies right now under this moon are ripe to activate you in certain ways. So it's a beautiful thing because we can flip the script. Yeah, Spirit, show me what gets, as Peter Griffin says, show me what grinds my gears. That's what you want to start looking at. Write it down. And then you start your inner work, okay? Anyway, if you'd like to have a personal reading with me or a live energy healing session with me, please do feel free to check me out. Thank you so much for any donations that you offer. God bless. And what else? Oh, yes. And please go ahead and like this video or heart it, if depending on whatever platform you're on. But until then, Mwah. And don't forget to check out the December. I keep going to December. Oh my God. Yes, December. Listen, check out the December 2021 reading and the January 2022 because the guides keep bringing up those 2 months. All right. Mwah. God bless you. Bye.